we got quite a territory to cover. We got a lot of stuff to cover. So, guys, thank you for allocating a little bit of your time. And I know you've been doing colossal amount of time spending trying to learn all sorts of hybrid skills that are not taught in college. But check this out. So, me and Bruno, the Feudal Hustler, we are working on different types of automations. Also, automations are no trick pony. It's not like one trick pony kind of automation. No, they solve multiple problems. I wanted to talk about what kind of problems they solve, so this way you could see for yourself if you could use them for your luxury pet brand. So one of them is called stirring up the pot. The other one is called the YouTube clipper, and the other one is the Scooby Sis. So if you think about it, they're kind of fire. I mean, if you think about them, what they do is kind of interesting things. So the Skooky Sis, our latest one, it's already published on GitHub, guys. It just allows you to take control of your leads on Skool community and quickly kind of scan your previous posts that you already done on Skool, have them all in a beautiful dashboard shown in front of you and categorized based on virality score factor in relationship to your brand, your very own post that you have created already, and also based on based on compatibility score and virality score. So the compatibility score is all about your brand, how compatible the post is for your brand. So the way the the Skooky Sis Freedom Fusion automation works is absolutely insane. So I had for the longest time a lot of digital sys come to me and say, hey Rome, look, I'm struggling to get a lot of leads, and I don't know, people just don't vibe with me. I don't know what to do. And I wanted to solve this problem, and I wanted to figure out a way for how to build relationships quickly. Is there anything that you could build, or is there anything that you could recommend that will allow me to build those relationships quickly? So the Skooky Sis is one of those automation that will make that possible. The way it works is it takes an existing Skool feed, and we just whipped it out today for digital sis and bougie boss moms over 40. What it does is a very unique thing, guys. It's absolutely bonkers what it does. If you've been struggling to build any kind of relationships, there's probably a reason behind that. The reason is you already been posting a lot across socials, but you haven't really, nothing really worked. So why is that? So of course, this is something that we decided to dive into ourselves to discover what is the biggest problems for moms over 40. And upon digging further, we realized that a lot of moms over 40, they kind of ghost and post and never see the day of light for whatever the post that they posted, I don't know, 3 days ago. And that's a problem, because you spend a lot of time on a post that you dedicated a lot of energy for, and then the next day you're so cooked, you feel like it wasn't working, and you jump onto the next post, and then you're cooked even more because you wasted all that time and you didn't really capitalize on that post, but you spent all that time and money and resources and building it, trying to pitch it, but nobody's seen it, so you kind of got cooked. So we realized that's a big problem. So this is how we solved that problem with our latest Freedom Fusion automation. This automation, what it does, it's slightly different than threads, that are typical threads automations that we build out for bougie boss moms. What this focuses on is Skool. What it does, it extrapolates all the posts that you have already created in Skool, and it literally gives you the virality score and the compatibility score for all the posts that you yourself have already posted on Skool. And it comes back to you and tells you exactly hey, this is the post, this is what you posted about in the past. This is the virality score and compatibility with the relationship to your very own brand and your very own pain problem and whatever the solution that you're trying to solve. And I know some of you will say, well, why are you kind of rating your own self? Well, the truth is, guys, when you're not necessarily just rating your own self, you're rating your chances of your very own post that you created in the past striking gold with the future version of your post that you're going to repurpose for the next person who you're going to respond to. So it's a little bit complex to understand or unravel, but the way it works is the automation uses a headless browser to go ahead and dive into your school community, and it works on any community, but we tested it in our Indies community, and it literally looks at all of your posts that you have already posted before. It scans, you could include how many pages, etc., whatever. The bottom line is it looks at the posts, it comes back with a virality score and who you're trying to target, whether it's a feudal lord that you're trying to target, or if you're trying to target a freedom founder. Of course, guys, if you want to make money, you got to be targeting both. You got to be targeting the feudal lords and freedom founders. Feudal lords are business owners, the brand owners, and freedom founders are people who are helping you, who discovered freedom, who are helping you to grow your feudal kingdom, helping you become rich. And of course, it takes a lot of skills to get those people to squabble up together with you, and under normal circumstances it's even more harder to get those people to squabble up with you versus getting feudal lords. So you got to have combination of both. You got to have freedom founders and feudal lords. But what is the other elements that we included? We knew that you would have no chance of striking any kind of relationships or getting deals done ever when it comes to hunting for feudal lords, unless you include the goats inside of the posts. So the problem is, what I see with many moms over 40, they exclude the goats. They don't include the goats inside of the posts when they create them on school community. They kind of just go on their own, thinking like, hey, I'm just gonna tell people I'm building my growth community, woohoo, choose me. Well, that doesn't work, guys. You need to include a goat. Meaning, remember guys, people are all about tribes and wolf packs. If you separate from a wolf pack and don't promote a goat, you get punished. That's how it works, guys, through the ancient times and through whatever the times that we are on now. So the best way for you guys to solve that problem is to include a goat inside of your post. So when you respond on school, by the way, guys, I'm top creator on school now, top on the leaderboard in Indies community. And in parallel, I also became a top creator on FUD. And guys, this is not hard. This is relatively easy, especially if you use those Freedom Fusion automations that we're just literally whipping out. But the bottom line is, guys, look, you need to promote a goat. But how do we include it? How did we include a goat in the mix of a response that is relevant for your luxury pet brand, that is relevant for the problem that you're trying to solve for your particular audience? How did we include a goat how do we include somebody in the mix? Because you always forget who to include. You kind of always thinking about yourself, how to promote your brand. You kind of never really think about any goats. And of course, that's a problem. And this problem gets exacerbated even further after including many posts about yourself and not recognizing that, oh my God, you totally got cooked. People don't like you. They don't see that you are building the community. They don't really see, they can't really connect with you. They can't find the relationship between you and whatever that is that they're trying to do. So to solve that problem, guys, we baked in goats directly inside of the Freedom Fusion automations. So what it does is when you run this automation, and it has a both automatic and semi-automatic mode, when you run this automation, it will include a goat for you inside of your post. It will reference another goat, and not just one goat consistently, but combination of multiple goats plus the main goat as well. So for example, in Indies community, the obvious goat is Andy, and of course there's a few other goats here and there who are leveling up in the community. And by the way, guys, if you are not using school and not leveling up, guys, start using it. It's relatively easy to level up. The more you level up, it's just going to be easier for you to spawn money. And of course, guys, we got Carlo over here. Hello, guys. So guys, look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it super easy. Right now, I just kind of described to you the Skooky Sys Freedom Fusion automation. I also wanted to let you know that Sophie Powers managed to get more than 40 million views. I told you guys I could get it to beyond 30 million views. I told you that. So guys, some of you will say, well, I don't get it, Rome. How do you do that? Like, teach me the secrets. How do you just blow up superstars and get people to become so famous? I just don't get it. I really want to learn this, but I feel like I don't even know what you're talking about. I feel like you're in a stratosphere right now. Guys, look, I understand this. I already subscribed and also gave it a like. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. This is, guys, once again, this is not for regular everyday people who just doom scroll on TikTok to infinity and hope for the best from just one workshop, watching this and getting entertained. This is, guys, you're getting entertained and you're getting educated simultaneously, guys, while I'm getting crispy duck. I decided to take you guys with me to get a crispy duck because I'm so cooked right now. But I also wanted to talk about all sorts of other shenanigans that we're doing and describing the algorithms. Sometimes sometimes I describe the algorithms to my subscribers, but I often lose them in the process. So I often choose to just chuckle a lot, have a lot of fun in the process, and just and of course, like, just do fun things. And then, of course, in long form workshops, you get to see what we do. And of course, if you're really, really curious, you could get some of those Freedom Fusion automations and just run them. You're going to see immediate results for your brand. Now, like, it's going to be too difficult for me to explain everything what's happening, guys, for the school. But just imagine this: you have a dashboard. You could respond to like hundreds of people from a single dashboard, instead of just scrolling, like hurting your brain trying to figure out how to respond. You're gonna have like a little dashboard, and you're gonna have like 100 of your posts from the past, from your present you, the past you, and you could respond back to your very own post. While kind of stirring up the pot and controversy and getting other people to see this post. Like, guys, the main thing is with school, if you leveled up, you're going to be like, your post, no matter what you respond in your own post, you're going to be on top. You're going to be on top search results. That's what happens when you level up on school. So you don't really need a lot of, like, to level up on school, you don't really need a lot. You just need to, like, be consistent. But to break that, but to be consistent, you really need those Freedom Fusion automations. And that's what we solved with that problem, the squeaky, the squeaky sis. I don't know. I keep referring it as the squeaky. I don't know. The squeaky is the next word that we're gonna blow up. It's gonna be the next viral word. I told you guys about it, and of course, guys, some of you be like, I don't believe this. Well, you've seen obviously what happened with Sophie Powers. She's over 40 million now. So any word we pick, we try to blow it up. And right now it's the skooky. That's the word we're gonna try to blow up. I'm gonna go ahead and get the crispy duck real quick, guys. I'm so hungry right now, and I'm gonna talk about the next initiatives shortly. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. All right, that was $26. Not bad. So, guys, look, I'm gonna go ahead and describe to you the Squeaky Sis Freedom Fusion automation. I'm gonna try to do my best to describe it to you. So stay highly focused, guys. Highly focused. And I know you guys are probably like so cooked. And guys, look, I'm gonna be super honest with you guys. I'm gonna be super honest. You have to pay close attention, guys. Nobody tells you this stuff. There's a lot of people on the internet that literally just kind of so cooked, and they don't explain anything, guys. They don't explain anything. I'm gonna try to explain to you, like, how to blow up across social platforms. Okay. So the first thing is, you guys already seen the YouTube clip, the YouTube Clipper Freedom Fusion automation that I released only recently. It's available on my GitHub, just like with with Skooky Sis as well. It's already released on the GitHub. If you're smart, you could go ahead and you could download it, but I don't expect moms over 40 who like literally just having luxury pet brands sitting there with GitHub installing repositories or anything like this. But if you wanted to, you most certainly can, and you could already start using this Freedom Fusion automation. But the viral Clipper Freedom Fusion automation, in combination with the stirring up the pot and the Skooky Sis, is probably going to get you into like millions of views relatively easy. Now, keep something in mind: you can't be just like somebody who's just creating short form content. You need to create a long form content. And of course, if you're struggling to figure out what kind of long form content to create, then talk to me, talk to my feudal hustlers. They're constantly on standby. I am working on a couple of feudal incubators. One of them is cybersecurity feudal incubator. And of course, we have multiple feudal incubators, guys. I've been invited into a university to teach many adults for a cybersecurity program. So I'm going to be doing that in January. But I wanted to help you guys blow up, and I wanted to give you guys the tea that many people don't explain for how to do this across socials, for how to, like, what tools do you use, in which order, what should you do? Should you build a TikTok shop first, or should you just like maybe do something else? Or, and like, how do you develop that? How do you get that energy? Where do you get all those ideas? So this way you have enough of information for you to run with and finally become rich. So guys, look, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the YouTube Clipper. Okay, so the YouTube Clipper is going to give you thousands of views. Really simple. I already described what that is, but basically it just grabs viral clips from longer videos that you already created, and it blasts it across multiple socials, including YouTube. Works like a clock. From one single video you could generate lots of clips. Now we're going to try to expand it a little bit. I already gave the assignment to my feudal hustlers to begin updating the functionality of the YouTube Clipper to include things like basic things like thumbnail or anything extra that will just give you greater chance of standing out when it comes to uploading your content. But simultaneously, we are doing many other different things. Like the Skooky Sis is absolutely crazy because it just allows you to tap into your past you and grab some of the posts that you already created, mix them together in context of responding to other people, while also injecting goats in the content, while also understanding whether the person that you want to respond to is worthy to respond to in the first place, just by looking at the compatibility score and virality scores that we provide directly inside of the Skooky Sis Freedom Fusion automation. This is absolutely insane, guys. If you look at the dashboard for what it looks like, it literally looks like a bunch of school posts, but from your own feed. Because sooner or later, what you're going to discover, whatever the school posts that you're creating, you never really going back to them, and you're really being kind of lazy to get back to them and to respond with them to somebody else who's actually looking for that help, who the instance they see your post that you already created in the right context, in the right moment, in combination with another goat and a bunch of other goats. If they see that, you're gonna have greater chances of success exponentially. And of course, it will be your content distribution engine that's just going to be pushing you through the roof in context of whatever the content that you're creating on school, especially when you start combining that with Threads and YouTube and other socials in combinations with other goats. Now, why I keep saying combination of other goats, guys, this is critical. If you don't combine other goats in the mix, your post will most likely gonna get shut down, taken down, because frankly speaking, people are not gonna be like giving you permission to promote yourself. I mean, sure, you could get away with maybe like few posts here and there depending on the community, but if you really want to like strike gold and do this across and do this in the most resilient manner that will minimize your chances of failure, then you want to promote other goats in your message. Like literally, you could pick one guy. Like, think about it. When you go to jail, right? And not to say that you go to jail or I went to jail or anything like that, but when I'm sure you've seen some Netflix TV shows, when people go to jail, what do? Like they're so scared to go to jail, but what do? They find a goat. They find somebody who is literally like really the most dangerous person in jail, and they go ahead and they pick a fight with that person, because they're rather get it over with in the beginning of their journey and get like beat up by that famous person, like the big bully in the beginning before when they go to jail, versus constantly being kind of cooked inside of the jail on constant terms and getting abused by everybody. So guys, this is the same thing applies in digital marketing. The same thing applies for the modern day brand building and competitors and everything like this. If you really want to stand out, what you want to do, you want to include a goat inside of your response. Now, how does our Freedom Fusion automation works, the Skooky Sis? We have two modes. We have automated and semi-automated mode. How much did it cost me to build this automation? It cost me about like $5 to build it. using Claude, my first iteration, then another $5 for the second iteration, and yeah, maybe like 10 12 maybe $12 total. But yeah, $12 total. How much time can it save? Well, I imagine you do the math. You created a post, and that post like never been referenced again in your future posts. Is that a bad thing? Absolutely, it's a horrible thing. You just wasted all that time creating a post that nobody sees, or maybe they've seen it initially, but the future people, they don't see it anymore. Why? Because you don't have this Freedom Fusion automation that promotes you all the time and gives you exactly, and hello, we got Rob over here. So how do you do this, guys? This is something that is not taught in college. This is not taught in anywhere, but this is something that you could operationalize right away, and you could literally jump into multiple school communities and include goats in a mix, and it will, on a cruise control, be grabbing the posts that you're creating anyway. Like literally, guys, if you're not part of maybe like at least 3 communities across school, threads, platform, YouTube, and FUD, if you're not part of at least several, then whatever it is that you're doing is like you're not really working smarter. You want to be working smarter, guys. You want to be optimizing your responses and including goats. So every one of the Freedom Fusion automations is designed specifically for a particular community to accelerate your growth for you specifically in context of your brand, and in context of who you want to respond to, and in context of who the audience is, based on their pain points and based on whatever the solutions and your call to action that you're offering. Now, guys, keep something in mind. A lot of people don't like building relationships. They don't like they're lazy. People are lazy. They don't like clicking on things. They don't, I mean, they click on things, but like if you don't include anything, like if you don't include a link from your previous post that you have already put all the energy into, and you have built like 100 posts showing like how great you are, how amazing you are, all those products, well, guess what? Nobody is going to be dead. Guys, we live in a high cardinality, ephemeral data sets, structures in a modern digital world where we live in today. Yeah, information come and go. If you don't operationalize it, and if you don't respond back to the right person in a right way, in extremely kind of a highly relevant way, it's going to be almost impossible to build.